The event is back. Pulse 95 Live. At Expo Centre Sharjah.
Hello and welcome back to the 6th edition of Exposure. This is the International Photography Festival right here at the Sharjah Expo Center. Only happens once a year from February 9th all the way till 15th. This is the platform for photography and film, everything from workshops, seminars. We are kicking it out and it is coming with a bang. So this is definitely the place for you if you're a photographer enthusiast or even just a creative, curious person. This is the place to be from 10 a.m. all the way to 10 p.m. I'm here joined with my guest co-host, Mike Browne, the industry expert, the eyes and ears into the world of photography, as we step into yet another conversation with yet another world-class photographer. We're welcomed here with Joel Sartore. Joel Sartore is a photographer, speaker, author, teacher, and conservationist who specializes in documenting endangered species and landscapes in an effort to show a world worth saving. He has contributed regularly to National Geographic, as well as numerous magazines, book projects, and documentaries. But his life's work, his pride and joy, is the photo arc. Welcome, Joel.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Good to have you here. One thing that is it's kind of like it's the showstopper when you step into Exposure, is that tunnel of your project, the photo arc.
Yeah, there's I think 5,000 species in there.
5,000.
Yeah, something like that, all moving past.
Bear in mind that you've captured a lot more, over
Right.
12,000 species.
That's right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
already for those who step into the tunnel, that's just, you're seeing a fraction of this man's work.
Right, just a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Less than half so far.
Tremendous achievement. And one thing you've said is that that's still not enough. Over 25 years doing this project, that you're only halfway through.
Right. We've done 15 years now, and we will go 25 or 30 years until I die, I guess.
Oh my God.
And then son Cole, who's across the room there, he'll take over for me if I get hit by a bus too early and finish it. But the goal is to get every captive species in the world at zoos and aquariums and wildlife sanctuaries and rehabbers and private collections in the hope that we'll get people to pay attention to things before it's too late to save them. Yeah.
Captive species in the world, because that's a very different project. So what led you to think, okay, let's do this with captive species?
Well, I had about a year at home taking care of my ill wife, and she made it through okay. But during that year, I had a chance to stop and think about what I've been doing. I've been doing story after story for National Geographic magazine. Did, I think, more than 30 stories over 17 years, all in the field. And only a couple of them had moved the needle of conservation very much, if at all. And I realized in my year at home that most species that are in trouble are very small. They're like sparrows and minnows and toads. They're small things that don't necessarily warrant coverage in a major magazine on their own. And yet so many were at risk of extinction. So the photo arc's a chance to give them all an equal voice, because there's no size comparison on these backgrounds. It's just eye contact, no distractions. And, a frog is every bit as big as a polar bear in these pictures. They're all the same size. So that was one of the major motivations. The other thing is that they're very simple, and so they're easy to share in this age of social media. They're easy to kind of pass around, distribute, to like or swipe, or just try to inspire people. If you can get enough people caring and into the tent of conservation, and each species is an opportunity to get people in the tent of conservation.
Yeah.
Then maybe we can make a real dent. Get people to realize there's more to life than politics and who won the ball game.
This is a beautiful world we live in, and all the little things that live in it, and the big things as well.
Right.
They're powerful things, and these images that you've created, I'm fascinated by the concept of these powerful, simple, beautifully lit images of an animal. As you say, a bee might be the same size as a polar bear.
Right.
And they're just on this black background.
Right, or white.
We do white
as well, yeah. But in a way, it's like building a quilt over 25 or 30 years. They're all just pieces of a bigger puzzle. And really, we want to show biodiversity at a glance. So if you want to see what most of the minnows' tight body shapes look like and colors, you can see it. If you want to see just red birds that live in the tropics, little perching birds, songbirds, You can see those. So, or you can see how ungulates or grazing animals have evolved on the plains of Africa. You can see all those together. So it's really a chance to see what we're talking about when we say biodiversity, and hopefully be inspired to live a life that's not harmful to all these animals.
Absolutely. And I mean, radio is not the most visual medium to be discussing photography.
Sure.
This is where exposure is extraordinary. So are you going to be at your exhibition? I know most of you are around a lot of the time, but for people listening, when you walk in the front entrance of Exposure, Joel is right in front of you.
Right.
The exhibition, it's this long tunnel, just as Mikey was saying. But what I need people to understand is the power of that, because it's this tunnel of moving exhibition of these powerful, beautifully lit, and eye contact. That's the other thing.
And some of the sounds they make as well. There's a lot of sounds from multiple species in there too. So, yeah, it takes a long time to see 5,000 species go by, but they're moving pretty quickly on multiple rows on both sides. So, it's a really nice exhibit. This is really a world-class facility.
It is. Exposure is an extraordinary thing.
It is.
But also, it's like the work which you have put in, because photographers, visitors to exhibitions, we see an image and we go, wow, that's awesome. But what we don't see is what's below the surface, like the ice cube in the glass. The work you put in to getting those simple looking images. Would you like to say a bit about that?
Sure. Well, let's take this part of the world. The government of Sharjah graciously invited us to come and document what we could at many different zoos and aquariums around Sharjah in September. And so a lot of the animals you'll see on display are from that trip, just that recent trip. But the wonderful thing is, once people in other emirates saw that we were working in Sharjah, that opened other doors as well. So we'll be going on this trip. We'll be doing some finish-up work. We'll be going to the Arabian Bustard Center in Abu Dhabi. We'll be going to Dubai Safari again. We'll be going to Sharjah Safari most likely. So there's an opportunity there to really show what North African wildlife looks like, and it's thanks to this entree we got through this Exposure Festival and Simon Newton and all the people that work with him. So it's really been a great opportunity for us.
They are an awesome crowd.
Yeah, they are.
They really are.
They get the things done they say they're going to do, which is fabulous.
Speaking of great opportunity, to those who are curious to see more of Joel's personal project, he has a seminar tomorrow from 5:30 all the way to 6:20 called Building the Photo Arc.
Right, and people will get the whole story there if they're interested. Among the questions I answer are, how you get a job with National Geographic as a photographer, and then what it's like to work in the field for them, and then the second half of it is about the photo arc and where we've been and where we're going.
Awesome. To all of those who want to get a chance to see the seminar, again, it's tomorrow, 5:30, right here at the Sharjah Expo Center. If you want more details, go to exposure.ae/event, and you'll see a lot more than just a seminar, but tons of workshops, even Joel's photo arc tunnel. It's a must-see right when you step in, literally. Joel, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you. Been a pleasure.
It's great talking to you.
Thank you.
Indeed. And that is a wrap here. We're going to be taking a little bit of a break, but coming up next, we would like to just tell you guys how you can get a chance to visit Exposure right here, Pulse 95 Radio.